Yuki Kawamura might be my favorite Grizzly of all time.
She said after the game, she said, I thought I was watching John Stockton.
Wiseman, what is you looking at, dog? How you not see that pass, dog?
Yuki definitely stole the show today. He's a joy to be around. He's a character.
He's full of energy. He's got bubbling personality. I'm glad he was able to showcase that center court from the fans. He's doing a lot more than dancing and win those competitions. He's helped elevate the tone of our practice.
Yuki Kawamura made noise throughout the basketball world with his stellar play in the 2024 Olympics and in the NBA preseason. The 5'8" Japanese guard has broken out with the Memphis Grizzlies, and his stellar preseason play earned him a two-way deal from the team. But it wasn't long ago that no one really knew anything about the young Japanese star. That's until he started to catch some attention on the international level. His unmatched confidence and unique ability to contribute while being undersized has made Yuki a basketball sensation, and many are rooting for him to make that leap to the NBA. But with all this buzz around Yuki in such a short amount of time, everyone seems to be wondering, how good is Yuki Kawamura actually? Well, to start things off, let's go back to the beginning of his basketball journey. Yuki Kawamura was born and raised in Japan, idolizing Yuki Tagashi, another undersized Japanese basketball player who has been known for overcoming his height. While many Japanese kids look up to baseball stars like Ichiro Suzuki or Shohei Ohtani, Yuki was all in on basketball. From a young age, Kawamura embraced the game, driven to become a pro, and once he made it to the high school level, he garnered quite a bit of attention. Playing high school ball at Fukuoka Daiichi High School, Yuki was able to lead his team to 2 straight Japanese high school championships. And by the time that he was able to play in his first pro game at only 18 years old, he became the youngest player in league history. And he was not just a player feeling his way around. He knew that due to his lack of size, he needed to be special, and with limited minutes and limited games, he stood out. Up to this point, he had been representing Japan for a while now, dating back to his U16 and U18 days, but he had a higher goal than that, and that was to be the best Japanese point guard in the world and represent Japan in the 2024 Paris Olympics. But to do that, he had to prove to himself first, and that he did. In his first year as a full-on professional, he went off, averaging around 19 points and 8 assists per game. This was enough to get him Rookie of the Year status, but even greater, he was able to win the MVP award while leading his team to the 8th best record in the league. His ball handling ability, speed, and elite court vision made him nearly unstoppable, and he tore up anybody in his path. His future vision was undoubtedly to represent Japan on the 2024 Olympic team, but first came the 2023 FIBA World Cup. His stellar play with Yokohama was more than enough to secure him a spot, and he geared up to show his skills against some of the best in the world. The first game, though, against Germany, was a little bit rough. He shot just 2 for 12 with 4 turnovers, but the next game, he made a name for himself. And the next game against Finland, led by NBA star Lauri Markkanen, Yuki was ready to put on a show, and what he did next shocked basketball fans around the world. He embarrassed the Finnish squad with his passing and his sharpshooting abilities. He scored 25 points, had 10 assists, all while coming off the bench. Then came the 2024 Olympics, and Yuki had once again earned his spot on the roster. As the groups were selected, Japan was slated to face off against Brazil, Germany, and the host country, France. But as he did in the World Cup just 1 year prior, he also struggled in the opening game of the Olympics. Against the tough German squad, Kawamura was only able to get 11 points and shot just 3 for 11 from the field. The Japanese squad lost 97-77, and they would need to finish the group stage strong in order to have a shot at the next round. But who was next in their way? France. And although this game would be tough for Yuki in Japan, it was the game that Yuki truly made a name for himself. When Japan needed someone to step up against Victor Wembanyama, Rudy Gobert, and the elite French team, Kawamura was the one to do so. Against France, Yuki scored 29 points, nailed 3 threes, and if it were not for a crazy 4-point play to push the game into overtime, Japan would have upset the French team. But that would sadly not be the case, and they fell to 0-2. Although this was a devastating loss for Japan, this was Yuki's breakout moment on the national stage. His name was all of a sudden on the map, and people watching around the world started to wonder who this skilled, undersized, fine-tuned Japanese point guard was. He also showed off his class, keeping his head up and taking the blame for a loss that was not all on him. He said, "I have to get better," and that there was no time to be depressed as they still had one game remaining. Brazil, another winless team, had the same hunger as the Japanese, and while they were able to absolutely blow Japan out of the water in their game, eyes were still focused on Yuki. He led his team with 21 points and 10 assists, all while living out his dream of playing for his country in the Olympics. Yuki finished the tournament averaging the 4th most points per game and the 3rd most assists per game across any player in the Olympics. He had put his name on the map during his run in the Olympics, and the next step would be the hardest to achieve in his entire basketball journey, a spot on an NBA roster. After his Olympic performance, there was lots of buzz around Yuki, and in early September, the Memphis Grizzlies made the jump and signed him to an Exhibit 10 contract, which guaranteed him a spot in the preseason training camp, but not the actual roster, at least yet. And he sure took the opportunity. When invited to an open run with some of the Grizzlies players, he supposedly went right at Zach Edey, who, if you don't know, is a 7'4" rookie who most recently led Purdue to a national championship appearance. Edey said, "He plays bigger than he is. He drives in the paint, he's trying to make plays, he's trying to get to the rim, he's really good." The phrase "heart over height" defined Yuki Kawamura, and the Grizzlies noticed it early on. Shooting guard Luke Kennard said, "He's fierce, he's a competitor, and he loves the game of basketball." To garner attention and even these kinds of compliments from established NBA vets is impressive, and Kawamura made the most of it. Yuki wore number 17 in support of fellow Japanese superstar Shohei Ohtani. He's determined to make his country proud and represent Japan in the NBA. In his first preseason game against the Dallas Mavericks on October 7th, Yuki was given limited moments, but he still shined. In only 9 minutes, he was able to make an impact by scoring 5 points, including making the only 3 he attempted and dishing out 3 assists. His play did not go unnoticed, as even Jason Kidd in his post-game interview said, "He's good, he's 5'8", but I love his effort and his ability to attack and playmake." In his next game against the Hornets, he was once again limited, but then, against the Chicago Bulls, Grizzlies head coach Taylor Jenkins decided to let him show his stuff a little bit more, upping his minutes from 9 to 24. Although he was not able to make a single field goal while snagging his only 2 points on the free throw line, Kawamura still showed his fearlessness and also showed off his elite playmaking ability, dishing out an impressive 8 assists. His vision was next level, and you can see it right here when he dumps down a crisp pass to a cutting Zach Edey. Grizzlies fans and players alike were beginning to ride the Yuki train, and in his next preseason game against the Pacers, he took it up another level that he had not yet reached in his short NBA tenure. Playing 25 minutes, the most he'd had all preseason, Yuki was finally able to let loose. He got his shot going early while still getting his teammates involved. He scored 10 points, hitting 3 threes, and added 7 assists in this game. In the 2 preseason games where he had over 20 minutes, Yuki averaged 6 points and 7.5 assists. It was clear that Yuki was raw and undersized, but he showed that he has incredible court vision for a guy who just started playing against NBA-level competition in less than a year. Then came the big question: had Yuki done enough to earn an NBA contract? He was competing against some pretty big names, including longtime UNC big man Armando Bacot, who had a pretty solid preseason of his own. But the Grizzlies ultimately made their decision, and Yuki was signed to a 2-way contract with the Grizzlies. His dream of being one of just 4 Japanese players to play in the NBA was slowly becoming a reality, and everyone was excited for him, including Ja Morant, who posted a tweet supporting Yuki. Yuki, in an Instagram post, said, "I'm just getting started, and there are still many challenges ahead, but I will continue working hard every day to stand on the NBA court and contribute to the team's victories. I truly appreciate your support." And after seeing what he's done in the Olympics and in the NBA preseason, there is no doubt that he will do just that. Now that Yuki has reached the next step in his career, who knows what could happen? We have seen many undersized guards in the past make huge impacts. Muggsy Bogues at just 5'3" played 15 seasons. Spud Webb at 5'6" had quite a lengthy career of his own as well. There have only been a handful of players at the height of Kawamura who have made sparks quite like he has, and it has surely been a while since then. Him playing alongside Zach Edey will be entertaining, and it will almost be like a replica of Manute Bol and Muggsy Bogues back when they played together on the Washington Bullets. But for now, we can sit back and watch Yuki play his game and fight for a chance to finally step foot on an NBA court and shock the world yet again. But what do you think of Yuki Kawamura? Do you think he'll be able to have an impactful role in the NBA? Let us know in the comments below. And if you liked this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this one. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.